I want to make this announcement now, guys, because we're moving on from censorship. We have this tweet from me.
Oh.
I am excited to announce that Timcast.com is now officially hosted on Rumble Video's cloud services and video hosting. This is step one in utilizing and building more resilient infrastructure for communication amid the culture war and mass censorship. Big news just happened. PayPal banned a bunch of independent media outlets. Matt Taibbi wrote about it. The New York Post picked it up. This is terrifying, and we don't know why. Russian disinformation or some other nonsense. When they come out with this disinformation governance board, Mayorkas was like, it's not going to target Americans. No, I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're going to say the story about, Biden is Russian disinformation. Mm-hmm. Then PayPal and other financial services will ban independent media outlets that are talking about or sharing this story. Considering we did an article deep diving into the Pfizer data that we can't talk about on YouTube, I think it's fair to say that the powers that be are going to be not too happy with what our website is doing. However, our web services are now hosted by Rumble. While I don't think Rumble is completely invulnerable or perfect, it's way better than being on Amazon, Google, or any other host that's going to be in Silicon Valley and going to have all these weirdo crackpot rules. So one thing we did is this. We've got a bunch of other stuff happening we're currently working on, but we're announcing it as it comes. So step one, get the website off of big tech Silicon Valley. There we go. It's part of a different kind of cabal that's forming, but at least it's market competition. At least we're supporting someone who's giving the middle finger for now to Amazon Web Services. In the future, Rumble may become the biggest. They may be Amazon Web Services, but as long as there's competition, things are getting better.
Chris Pavlovski, the CEO of Rumble, talks a lot about open sourcing stuff and decentralizing servers. I'm 100% on board with decentralizing servers. When you talk about open sourcing stuff, that's great, but the proof is in the pudding, my man. Open source the code, free the software, go AGPL3.
Yeah, we don't talk about this enough, right? But AWS and the hosts who allow people to keep their websites up, they have a tremendous amount of power. We generally look at the big tech companies like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, the ones that really allow you to get exposure. But you should be able to have a website as sort of an escape hatch, so you can direct your fans there in case you do get banned. But then it's the case that, like you said, Amazon could end up taking you down.
And the other risk is we use PayPal. Mm-hmm. A lot of people said they don't like it and they didn't want to use it. And I know simply by talking about what PayPal has done to these independent reporters and personalities, we run the risk of putting ourselves on their radar. And they gave no justification for why they banned these people. And in one instance, I believe they said they're seizing the assets to decide what to do with it.
They've done that with bank accounts too, though. Chase was banning conservatives. I believe Laura Loomer was kicked off of Chase banking. There's so many of them that they can't even bank. She couldn't use Comcast services for her ads, I believe. So it's far-reaching.
And that's just the free market at work, and it's acceptable. But Elon Musk buying Twitter is fascism.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. Thanks, Robert Reich.
So we got to do a lot to continually expand our infrastructure. The first step was we're definitely looking at payment processors. We're looking at video, we're using Rumble's video hosting for all our member stuff. We're using Rumble's cloud services. The next thing we got to look at is payment infrastructure. But the reason we did this first was if they take the website down, like anyone in the chain says, we're not going to service you, we're not going to link your domain, whatever. We're not going to provide you hosting. Site's gone. Financials, we lose money, but we'll figure something out. The next step is to secure this system, and then we will be much more resilient.
We got PayPal, Stripe. Stripe, I don't know if Stripe's on the site right now.
Stripe is our primary.
And then did you mention the other one, the Rumble?
We don't have any other one.
I think cryptos is very promising for the future. They finally started taxing it properly for the most part, so you can kind of get away with using it for payments. And then you don't have to dabble with the fiat at all. You still got to pay taxes on it, but I think that's really, really good. It's all digital all the time. And the Swift payment system can't mess with it, at least overtly.
Yeah.
So here's my question, Tim. When we look at Rumble, we look at these other services. Is there a better way to do this eventually that we could, imagine down the line where there isn't some centralized service you have to go to in order to be hosted?
Yeah, you want to decentralize
I
servers.
just look at Ian.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
asked me a question.
I'm curious.
You were talking about mesh networking, which
Yeah.
is where all of our devices are a piece of the server. And if one goes down, the server's still up because all the other pieces are working together. It works near frequency right now. You can get things like Nostr, Nostr. There's another one called Briar, I think. Services where you can communicate when it's not on the internet. You don't need an internet. You have a local net. That's kind of the future. If we can somehow link up some sort of global mesh net. Tesla was working on sending electricity through the ocean and underground to people. So we may be able to Wi-Fi each other.
Oh, you mean
underground.
actual Tesla?
Nikola Tesla, yeah. And so we may be able to communicate with each other through ground.
I thought you were talking about Elon Musk. I was like, wait, what?
Imagine you're
Hold on.
swimming in the ocean and you get zapped.
That'd be wild. But it would be, I guess it'd be
Running
Wi-Fi. It wouldn't be electricity. It'd be Wi-Fi. He was obsessed with sending electricity, which was really kind of hard. I think that was hurting stuff and causing crazy amorphisms in the environment. But
What is that? What do you mean?
like he caused an earthquake one time in Lower Manhattan.
Did he really?
Who,
Yeah,
Elon did?
yeah. No, Nikola Tesla.
Oh.
It was like in the early 1900s, and they went down to his office. They're like, "What's going on, dude?" And they came in. And they eventually shut him down because it was too much. They shut down his what's it called? Wardenclyffe, his big tower where he was trying to project wireless electricity around. I don't know if he was damaging stuff with that, but they did.
I don't know. Sounds like he might have been. You ever hear the story about that dude who made the radioactive death ray in his garage?
No.
Yes, I did. I
What's
remember hearing
the
about
what's
that a
the
few
element
years
called?
ago.
Americium?
I
don't know.
forget.
Is that what it
Americium? I don't know how it's
Kium?
pronounced. It's
Maybe.
like the word America.
He was like
Yeah.
collecting smoke detectors and then using the little radioactive bits and putting it inside like a container, and then it would focus the beam. And then he was like covered in radioactive like lesions.
Oh my God.
Yeah. and he,
What
like,
part of that seemed like a good idea, though?
Well, I
The part where you'd end up having a death ray.
Yeah, duh.
I guess.
Was
like,
he? Where was he?
Did
What
you
was
look
he
it
gonna
up?
do
No,
with
that's
that?
wild. I know. That is
Chemical.
wild. Maybe like the neighbor's cat kept coming over, bothering him.
I guess the government found out and offered him a job, but then he kept making death rays, so they just eventually arrested
his
him.
name's
Like,
David
What did they
Hahn.
think he was gonna do? What did they
He
think he
was-
was gonna do?
I don't know, but like, dude
What
made
would
a
you do
death
with
ray
a
in his
death ray?
garage.
Well, it's just like you made a death ray. Here's a bunch of money. You made more death rays for
What?
shame.
No. Think about it. They found a guy who made a focused like radioactive beam. That's silent assassination. You could like be in a cafe and like point it at some guy and
Yeah, it looks like it was a Americium.
You're just death raying
Americium
people?
241 is the chemical.
Yeah,
You're just
so
gonna death ray people at the cafe, Tim.
Wikipedia calls
Hey.
him a nuclear radiation enthusiast
Oh.
who built a homemade neutron source at the age of 17. Holy crap.
Wait,
This guy
but
was
he
serious.
died from the death ray?
I'm not sure. He died in 2016, so could have been from multiple different things, but I'm assuming the radiation poisoning had
David
something to do with it.
Hahn,
Yeah,
home-
David Hahn.
radioactive Boy Scout or the
Yeah.
nuclear Boy
Legend.
Scout.
Yeah, right.
If I
That's
die and my name is
right.
Radioactive Girl Scout,
Heck
that'd be
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, this is in 2007.
Yeah.
This was second time possession of a second neutron.
Yeah, he did it when he was 17.
device found in his freezer.
Easy.
Larceny of smoke detectors. In Michigan, he was allegedly removing a number of smoke detectors from the halls of his
Where were
apartment
his
building.
parents?
Right, seriously.
Oh, that's just little Timmy building radioactive death rays in
Look,
the garage.
I think if you can build a radioactive death ray, you could probably escape your parents' view. You know.
Yeah, probably. That's fair. That's a fair point.
His death was ruled as an accidental result of intoxication from the combined effects of alcohol, diphenhydramine,
Diphenhydramine.
Oh.
And
and
fentanyl.
fentanyl. Yikes.
Yikes. Oof.
Where did I don't remember where I read this story, but I remember reading it. They said his mugshot, he was covered in legions.
Yeah.
So somehow we were talking about fighting censorship.
We are
Then we started
mesh
talking about Nikola Tesla
Yeah,
transmitting energy.
Yeah.
Talking about mesh networking.
Now
and
we
how
have a
we
guy
would,
with a death
we
ray.
Yeah,
can't,
we
don't
are.
censor our death
if
rays.
we could
That's
build
right.
a stabilized mesh network, I'm really interested in the idea of sending Wi-Fi underground through the ground. That'd be
What
really.
do you think the effects of Wi-Fi everywhere would be, though?
Man, that's
It
been on
I feel
my
like
mind
it's
a
not.
lot.
I feel like it's not good for us.
I think
though.
it's driving people wacky, like squirrely. I think it's heightening people's tension. It's like
You think
watching
that's why we're
TV all the
tense?
time, and your brain starts to get like really, and your yeah. I think that's part of it. Diet and frequency.
and the
Maybe
Wi-Fi,
turn up the
diet
frequency.
and Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That might be. I've not seen a lot of evidence about it though, but it just feels like it. Like,
There's
have you ever held your
different
phone
studies
close?
about how the rays affect like women's reproductive systems and
yeah.
stuff, but I don't think we're ever going to know for a very long
I
time.
used
Well,
to
it's all
carry-
non-ionizing radiation.
I would carry my phone in my left pocket from like 2000 to 2014, and all of a sudden one day it started getting really sore. My leg, right where I had it, took it out for like 3 days, and it was no longer sore. I no longer carry this thing in my pocket. Never, unless I have to get it somewhere.
I did the Raisinwell thing, and I carry my cell phone in my underwear.
Yeah, that's the way
That's
to go.
much better.
Yeah, that's good.
As
yeah.
a cod piece.
No problems. No.
That'll keep you
piece,
safe.
yes.
Yeah, that'll protect you from errant
Put it in the
baseballs.
beanie,
and
put it
things.
in the little
That's
pocket
right,
up
yeah.
there.
The
Just,
beanie pocket.
I always actually wondered about that because when I was on the ground doing reporting, I would wear it on my chest, and the camera would be rolling and it would be clipped to my chest, and I'm like, if I ever get cancer in my
Close to my
chest, I'll know
heart,
exactly
yeah.
why.
But
It's like you have heart cancer. It's
But
like,
I
that's
feel
why.
like we're
Cancer.
not capable of operating as a species without all this stuff anymore. There's no way for us to disconnect now.
we went
I
to.
think that's-
disagree.
We went to. When we were coming back from Nashville, we stopped and we stayed at this beautiful place overlooking this waterfall, but there was no Wi-Fi, and it was really concerned. Like I was really upset for the night. Kind of. I was like, how will I? What am I even worried about? Like, how will I fill in the blank? How will I connect with?
Yeah.
Just connect with nature, man. The waterfall smells great.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.